Well, a very good morning to you. We start this bulletin with some more breaking news. The George municipality in the Western Cape says the death toll has now risen to 5 following a collapse of a multi-storey building under construction. It says its teams are desperately searching for about 50 workers who are trapped under the rubble. 24 people have been rescued and taken to hospital. There are currently 3 rescue teams on site. Let's now talk to the mayor, that's the George Mayor, Leon van Wyk. Mayor, thank you very much for joining us. And some sad news coming out. We are believing that the death toll has now risen to 5. Has that been confirmed?
Yes, that has been confirmed. Good morning. That the death toll is now at 5. 20 have been rescued, and we are still searching for another 50.
It's a very, very difficult situation, I can only imagine. As we are reporting, 3 teams are working on this. What is the update overnight? What is the latest with trying to get to those 50 people that are still trapped in the rubble?
Yes, what was done last night, they had mapped out on the plans of the building the sites where voices had been heard, and indications that there were people trapped within that site. In some of the cases, they had been able to make cell phone contact with workers that are trapped. However, it's a complex site, as you can imagine, the 5-story building collapsing, and therefore to get through all of that concrete and the rubble that is there makes it very, very difficult. And then to have to cut through concrete and to remove blocks and bricks and so forth to gain access to the people is a time-taking process, and it's got to be done very carefully so that further injuries and further damage is not caused as a result of that. So there are teams working at various parts on that premises, on the terrain, to extract the workers that are trapped.
Mayor, please remind us what happened. What do you believe is behind the collapse of this building? We say there were construction workers on site there as well, which is of course what the big issue is right now, and a lot of them have been trapped under there. But perhaps you can give us an understanding as to what was going on with this particular building.
Yes, look, it's as mentioned, it's a 4 or 5-story apartment flat building that's under construction, and for reasons unknown as yet, this collapse took place yesterday afternoon, and that has now created the situation where you have that construction team on site, along with subcontractors that were also working there, and we've been able to establish then from the contractors how many people were on site, and so that process is now underway to try and extract people. We've got Cape Town have sent in specialist teams who work with structure collapses, and additional equipment that came in last night to help in this process, because one of the difficult areas is now you've got to lift certain parts of concrete to be able to get deeper into the debris.
All right, Mayor, before I let you go, I know that a list was put out in terms of those that were injured, the rescued, obviously, and the status that they're in. And, I mean, the one that jumps out for me is obviously the 10, which now, unfortunately, with the passing of 1, is now down to 9 that are in a red zone, which I imagine is a rather critical condition. How are those that have been rescued doing? Have you got any updates on them?
Look, I don't have an update as of now. What was indicated to us in the last half hour or so was that they were getting close to try and rescue and extract another 2 to 3 of those persons that they've been working on at the 3 different spots within that building to try and extract those workers there. So, we are obviously extend our condolences and sympathies to the families of those who've lost their lives, and are very concerned about those that are still trapped and are injured and in hospital. And we feel for the families of each of those workers. So it's a very troubling and a difficult time for them. And counselling has been provided to the families on site.
All right. Mayor, thank you. We wish you strength and the rest of those that are working on this tirelessly to try and rescue those that are trapped underneath this rubble. Again, it's a construction building. It's a site that was going to be a big a building that was going to be housing people. It has now collapsed, and this is on 75 Victoria Street. It's in George, and the latest update is that there are 5 casualties. There are 50 people that are still trapped underneath the rubble, and 24 people that have been rescued, but many in a critical condition in hospital. So that, of course, is the latest on that story.